There is a saying among warriors, when the mind falters, the blade follows. It means that no matter how sharp your sword, no matter how perfect your stance, if your mind trembles, your strike will fail. The sword is not guided by muscle or technique alone. It is an extension of the spirit, a mirror reflecting the stillness or chaos within the heart that wields it. Miyamoto Musashi understood this truth. He fought over 60 duels, and yet his greatest battles were not against men, but against the weakness of his own spirit. He once said the ultimate aim of the way of the sword is not to win battles, but to master oneself. In every confrontation, he saw his opponent not as another person, but as a reflection of his own inner condition. If the mind wavered, his sword wavered. If his heart was clouded, his strike lost precision. And so Musashi sought stillness, not victory. He trained in solitude, walking alone through mountains and rivers, listening to the voice of silence, until his spirit and blade moved as one. He came to see that the sword and the mind are bound by the same law. When one is steady, the other is unstoppable. When one is disturbed, both are lost. True mastery, Musashi realized, is not about striking faster or stronger. It is about removing every hesitation, every distraction, every unnecessary thought, until nothing remains but pure awareness. This is the essence of the samurai heart. Calm, unshaken, and infinitely sharp. To fight without anger, act without fear, to move without thought. That is the way. In battle, fear whispers in many forms. It says, what if I lose? It says, what if I die? And in that single moment of doubt, the sword loses its edge. But when the mind becomes like still water, clear, unmoving, reflecting all, yet clinging to nothing, the sword moves freely, cutting through illusion, fear and hesitation alike. Musashi called this state the void. It is not emptiness in the sense of nothingness. It is a perfect openness, a place where the spirit flows unhindered, where no thought clouds the moment, where the body and mind act in perfect unity. To reach this void is not the work of a day or ire. It is the work of a lifetime. And yet every step toward it, every moment spent mastering the self, is already a victory. Musashi's life was not one of comfort. He had no master, no home, no wealth. He carried only 2 swords and an unbreakable will. But within that solitude, he found a truth that few ever see. That the sharpest weapon is not forged from steel, but from silence. He learned to hear the sound of his own spirit, to feel the weight of his own thoughts, and to polish his heart as one polishes a blade. Each morning he would rise before dawn, practice his cuts, his breathing, his stillness. He understood that every movement, no matter how small, reveals the condition of the heart. A trembling hand betrays a trembling soul. A steady gaze reveals an unshakable will. Thus, to master the sword, one must first master the mind. And to master the mind, one must first face it alone. In this modern world, people seek power without discipline, speed without patience, and victory without preparation. Musashi's wisdom still speaks across centuries, that no man can master the world until he has mastered himself. So when you face your own battles, whether on the field, in work or in life. Remember this truth: your blade will always follow your mind. If your thoughts are clouded, your actions will be clumsy. If your heart is calm, your path will be clear. Do not fear losing. Fear instead the hesitation that lives within. Because when the mind falters, the blade follows. In stillness there is strength. In silence there is mastery. In preparation there is victory. Train your mind as you would train your hand. Sharpen your heart as you would sharpen your sword. And when the storm of life surrounds you, stand firm like Musashi, unshaken,